All right, so if you're listening to this, you've probably been doing a lot of thinking about Medicare lately, especially if you're getting close to retirement, trying to make sure you've got all your ducks in a row for when that time comes. That's awesome.
It's really important to think about these things.
It is, but here's the thing. Have you thought about what happens beyond healthcare? Like once you've figured out the Medicaid piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, that's where a lot of people stop.
Yeah.
And they forget about all the other stuff.
Exactly. We're talking about your overall financial well-being,
Your whole financial picture.
which, let's face it, is a huge part of actually enjoying retirement. Like, what's the point of having all this free time if you can't afford to do anything?
You can't travel, you can't enjoy time with your family, if you're constantly worried about money.
Exactly. So today's deep dive, we're going to be exploring how annuities and life insurance can actually be these secret weapons for financial security, working alongside Medicare to create this ultimate safety net so you can really relax and enjoy those golden years.
Yeah, I like that. Secret weapons. That's a good way to think about it, because they're not the first thing that comes to mind when people think about retirement planning.
Right, but they're super important.
They can make a huge difference.
And I know a lot of people, myself included, we have all these worries just kind of lurking in the back of our minds. Like, what if I outlive my savings? What happens with those unexpected costs? You know, the things that just pop up and throw a wrench in your plans.
The curveballs that life throws at you.
Exactly. And we're going to tackle all that head on today, showing you how annuities and life insurance can actually address those fears and give you that feeling of, okay, I'm good. I've got this.
That peace of mind is priceless.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's start with that biggie everyone worries about. Outliving your savings. It's like this retirement horror story that we all hear. You know, you work your whole life, save diligently, and then suddenly you're in your 80s and the money's running out.
It's a scary thought.
It is. But did you know that a 65-year-old couple today actually has a 50% chance of at least one of them living to 92?
Wow. That's a long time.
It is a long time. That's a long time to make your money stretch.
It really is. And that's where annuities come into play.
This is where our secret weapons come in.
Right. Think of annuities like this steady income stream, a paycheck that keeps coming no matter how long you live.
So it's like having a pension, even if you never had one during your working years.
Exactly. It's that guaranteed income for life.
Oh, I like that. Guaranteed income for life. That definitely takes a lot of the pressure off.
It does, knowing you won't suddenly be left high and dry financially.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating is how well this complements Medicare.
Oh, right, because Medicare is really focused on healthcare costs.
Yeah, Medicare takes care of your health needs, but an annuity steps in to cover all those other essential expenses.
Like what kind of things are we talking about?
Housing,
Yeah.
food, travel if you want to, anything you can think of.
So it really is like having this financial partner, making sure that you can actually enjoy those retirement years without having to constantly stress about money.
That's the goal, to make sure that you can really enjoy your retirement and not have to worry about money.
Love that, a financial partner. It makes so much sense. Now, I've heard some people say that certain types of annuities are especially helpful for retirees. Is there any truth to that?
There is. You've got different flavors of annuities, so to speak. For example, you've got something called a deferred annuity,
Right.
where you make contributions over time and then it starts paying you back later, like a personal pension plan.
Interest.
Or there are immediate annuities, where you put in a lump sum and it starts paying out right away.
Got it.
There are even annuities that offer inflation protection, so your income keeps pace with rising costs.
So it really depends on your situation.
It really comes down to your individual needs and goals.
Okay, so we've talked about annuities as this income safety net, but what about life insurance? I feel like there's this misconception that's only for people with young families.
That's a really common myth.
Yeah, I think I even thought that for a while.
But think about it, even in retirement, you still have expenses.
That's true.
What happens to those final expenses? Like funeral costs, outstanding debts. When you're gone, life insurance can make sure those are covered, so your loved ones don't have to shoulder that burden during an already difficult time.
That's a huge relief. Knowing your family won't be saddled with those unexpected bills on top of everything else. And I imagine it can also play a role in estate planning.
Absolutely. Life insurance can provide liquidity for your estate, which basically means having cash readily available to cover any estate taxes or debts that might arise.
So you're not forcing your heirs to sell off property or investments.
Exactly. It helps ensure a smooth transition of assets to your beneficiaries.
It's like providing this financial cushion for your loved ones, helping them navigate those tricky waters after you're gone. And it's interesting because when we're talking about Medicare and healthcare costs, it feels like a natural segue to bring up life insurance as well.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
It's all about creating this comprehensive plan for your health and your financial well-being, not just during your lifetime, but also for the people you care about.
It's about taking care of yourself and the people you love, both now and in the future.
Exactly.
It's about having these conversations, with empathy and sensitivity, recognizing that planning for the future also means considering, the well-being of those we leave behind.
Yeah, it's like a final act of love, right?
Yeah.
Making sure they're taken care of.
I like that. A final act of love. That's a beautiful way to put it. And, that sense of caring extends to yourself as well.
Interesting. How so?
Well, having a life insurance policy can actually provide peace of mind knowing you have options if you need long-term care.
Right, because that can get really expensive.
It can. And as we know, Medicare doesn't fully cover it.
So life insurance can help fill in those gaps.
Exactly. Some life insurance policies offer riders or benefits that can help cover those costs.
Giving you more control.
More flexibility in your later years.
So it's not just about what happens after you're gone, but also about protecting yourself during your lifetime.
It's like having a backup plan.
For those just-in-case scenarios.
Precisely. Now, shifting gears a bit, you mentioned earlier some anxieties people have about retirement.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about those what-if scenarios.
Right. Like, what if I outlive my savings? Or what if I have these unexpected costs? Let's dive into how annuities and life insurance can actually be solutions to those worries.
Okay, let's do it.
First up, the dreaded retirement income gap.
Oof, yes, that's a big one.
Even with careful planning, sometimes the money coming in just doesn't quite match what you need to cover your expenses.
And that gap can cause a lot of stress.
Absolutely. It's like this constant nagging feeling, will I have enough?
Will I be able to make ends meet?
Exactly. And what's great about an annuity is that it provides a guaranteed baseline income.
Regardless of what's happening in the market or with your other investments.
Exactly. It's like having a financial anchor.
Keeping you grounded.
Ensuring you can cover those essential expenses, even if other income sources fluctuate or decrease over time.
It's like having that solid foundation so you don't feel like you're constantly teetering on the edge.
Exactly. And then there's the issue of Medicare's coverage gaps.
Right. Medicare doesn't cover everything.
It doesn't. We know it's fantastic for basic healthcare needs, but there are still out-of-pocket costs.
Like what kind of things?
Deductibles, copays, and potentially long-term care expenses.
And those can really add up.
They can, especially as we get older and healthcare needs tend to increase.
It's like this hidden cost of aging.
You're absolutely right, and that's where life insurance can step in to provide that extra financial cushion.
So it can help cover those costs that Medicare doesn't.
Exactly. And protect your savings from being depleted by unexpected healthcare expenses.
So it's like having this financial tag team working for you. The annuity provides that steady income, while life insurance acts as a buffer against those surprise costs.
I like that.
Together, they create this comprehensive safety net.
That addresses multiple concerns.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a fantastic analogy. It's about having different tools in your financial toolkit, each serving a specific purpose to create a more secure and stable future. And, beyond the practicalities, there's something incredibly empowering about this.
Oh, totally. I was just thinking about that. It's not just about the money itself. It's about that feeling of control and confidence it gives you.
That sense of security.
Knowing you've taken steps to protect yourself and your loved ones, no matter what curveballs life throws your way.
You nailed it. It's about taking ownership of your financial well-being and creating a future where you can truly thrive without constantly worrying about money.
Okay, so all of this sounds amazing, but let's be real. How do you know if these tools are right for you?
That's a great question. It all comes down to your individual needs and anxieties.
So a little self-reflection is in order?
Exactly. What are those what-if scenarios that keep you up at night?
Like, what if I run out of money? Or what if I need expensive care later in life?
Exactly. Let's say you're someone who's primarily worried about outliving your savings and having enough income to maintain your lifestyle. An annuity with its guaranteed lifetime income could be an excellent solution.
That makes sense. But what about someone who's more concerned about leaving a financial legacy for their children or grandchildren?
In that case, life insurance might be the more appropriate tool.
Because it allows you to leave a significant sum of money to your beneficiaries.
Exactly. Ensuring they're financially secure even after you're gone.
And there are even types of life insurance that can grow in value over time.
That's right. Acting as an investment vehicle as well as a safety net.
So it's like hitting two birds with one stone. providing financial protection, and potentially leaving a lasting legacy.
It really comes down to understanding your personal priorities and what you want to achieve with your financial planning.
Aligning your financial strategy with your values and goals.
It's about finding that right fit, for your situation.
It's like crafting this personalized roadmap for your financial future, choosing the tools and paths that best suit your journey.
That's a great way to put it. Now, I know all this can feel a bit overwhelming at first, like stepping into a whole new world of financial products, jargon and strategy.
It's easy to feel lost. Like, where do you even begin?
Absolutely. The first step is education, arming yourself with knowledge.
Okay, so knowledge is power.
Exactly. Spend some time, really understanding how annuities and life insurance work, especially within the context of retirement.
So, like, how do they fit into the bigger picture?
Right. And there are tons of resources available. You can find information online from reputable financial institutions and websites. And don't hesitate to reach out to a financial advisor, someone who can really help you navigate the complexities and make sense of it all.
It's like finding that trusted guide to lead you through the financial wilderness.
Exactly.
Okay, so education and seeking expert advice are key. But are there any other practical tips?
Yeah, for sure. Along with education, a good dose of honest self-reflection is crucial.
What do you mean by that?
Well, ask yourself those tough questions. What are my biggest fears about retirement? What keeps me up at night?
Like, will I be a burden on my family? Or will I have to give up the things I love because I can't afford them anymore?
Exactly. Once you pinpoint those anxieties, you can start looking for solutions that specifically address them.
So instead of letting fear paralyze you, you use it as fuel to create a plan that gives you peace of mind.
Exactly. Turn those worries into action steps.
I like that.
And another tip, don't be afraid to think outside the box. Look for integrated solutions.
What do you mean by that?
Well, there are advisors and platforms out there that offer annuities, life insurance, and other financial products, all as part of a comprehensive retirement plan.
So it's like having a one-stop shop for all your financial needs.
Exactly. This can really streamline the process
Yeah.
and ensure that everything is working together harmoniously.
Like a well-oiled machine,
Precisely. And remember, this isn't a one-size-fits-all situation.
right? What works for one person might not work for another.
Exactly. It's about finding the solutions that align with your individual circumstances, your goals and values.
So as we wrap up our deep dives into the world of annuities and life insurance, it seems like the key takeaway is this. Planning for retirement is about so much more than just health care. It's about creating this holistic sense of well-being
Financial security and peace of mind.
for both you and your loved ones.
You got it.
It's about taking control of your future and designing a retirement that is truly fulfilling, both financially and personally.
And remember, it's never too early to start planning.
Yeah, the sooner the better.
The more prepared you are, the more confident and empowered you'll feel as you enter this new chapter of your life.
So to all our listeners out there, go out there, embrace the possibilities, and start crafting the retirement you deserve. We'll catch you on next deep dive